Good afternoon, everybody. It's Sunday. It's Sunday, and I thought I would do a fairly quick live chat today. So I hope there's some people out there that would like to talk. And I'm going to just make sure I'm set up properly, so bear with me. Okay. I'm almost with y'all. Just a minute. Take a little time. I think it'll just be like an hour because I've got stuff to do today. Yep, I do. Okay, hold on a minute. Or because I've got stuff to do today. Okay, turn that off. All right. Here we are. It's Sunday, about 1:44 in the afternoon. And I'm hoping that you guys are out there. I know most people probably aren't, but see what happens. I wanted to get on here and chat with you guys because yesterday the video got so many comments, like 190 comments so far, and I thought we could talk about it a little bit. Is anybody there? Let's see. Okay. Maybe there is nobody there today. Hey, Lisa. Lisa's here. How are you today, Lisa? I thought I'd get on here and just chat a while. Hi, Joanne. Good to see you guys. Yeah, I know. Nobody ever knows when I'm going to go live, but this is it. I decided I would click on the live stream and just see what happens as usual. Because you know me, I'm one of those fly by the seat of my pants kind of gals. So it is very warm as usual. It's sunny and bright, and there's a little breeze, so it's not too bad. We were out there, Kat and I and the doggies, and yeah. So you're out there in the Florida sunshine, huh? What part of Florida, Lisa? Did you say you were in the Miami area? I can't remember. I talked to so many people. It's hard to remember everybody, where they live and all that. Hi, Pamela. Yeah, where are you at? It's hot everywhere this summertime, you know. Not easy to get away from the sun. I don't really mind it. It's just that when it hits high 90s and stays that way, that's no fun. Hi, Fast Pup Dog Training. Kate. Hi, Kate. Oh, there was a lot of comments because I have been kind of fighting depression. So, Deltona. Okay, I know where that is, Lisa. Yeah, I've been fighting depression, but you know, it's just that time of year where it's really hot and I just haven't really been able to do very much, and I don't know. Sometimes things just get to you, but I'm feeling better today. Hi, Jude. Oh my God, to your TV, so it's loud and large. So this is what's going on with me. You know, I really appreciate it. I mean, I had, like I said, 190 comments, and I thought I would address some of the comments. So let me kind of look at some of the comments just to. A 47-incher. Woohoo! And I don't have my makeup on, really. I just have lipstick. Hi, Teresa. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Okay, well, I'm just being honest. There are days when I just don't feel happy, you know? Thank you, Jude. But then again, there's days that I am very happy. I gotta go back and forth. I want to do certain things and I'm held back by age, by money, by where I'm at. Hi, Janice. Hi, Massachusetts. Is it nice there today? I bet it is. Matter of fact, Nadia and Nathan and the three boys are going to Massachusetts, like I think a week from now. They're going to be there for about a month. Hi, Sally. I've been in Michigan many summers, and it can be very hot in Michigan. Usually it's not this bad, but I remember one time we were doing a craft fair and hanging out there, and it was so hot. Now, all of the places you go to eat and stuff, none of their air conditioners were working good. And that is a big bummer when you're, trying to eat and stay cool, right? 70. Can you imagine it being 70 degrees? Oh, that's like my favorite degrees. So I was sort of talking about some of the comments, and people have given me suggestions, and when you put it out there and on your channel, you're going to get a lot of reactions. Different kinds of people are going to react, and so I thought I would just kind of chat a little bit. And one of the things that really, I was already kind of depressed anyway, and then the two people, especially Anthony Bourdain. Hi, Nomadic RV, Paul or Regina. I'm not sure which one. I don't have a history of depression. No. I think everybody has depressed times in their life. At least I think they do. 55 degrees, overcast in Washington. Nice. Hello, CM. Very hot in New Mexico. I figured that out. And the dogs are chilling. They just came back from being outside. Hi, Mike. Right, Mike. That's what I'm saying. He says, hi, Lynn. He was saying that most people aren't happy. I think a lot of people, especially when they hit like 50s, 60s, 70s, you look back at your life, and we've lost people in our lives that we loved, and maybe you didn't make as much money, or you didn't succeed, you didn't get that house or the boat. Hi, Mike. How you doing today? Um, and so, we have our ups and downs. Hi, Shanti. Humid in Singapore. Wow. Singapore is a place I'd love to visit, though. Hi, Tony's Troop Travels. Tony from Kansas. How's Kansas today? Hot? I bet it's hot. It's pretty hot anywhere in the South. You know, it gets nicer in the Northeast and way up in New England. But I've been in Michigan. It was really hot. So, and once I was in Buffalo visiting my cousins, and it was so hot that my cousin's husband had like a heat stroke. Thank you. Yeah, so, it's just the way it is. And I wanted to talk about, you know, depression and all that. When I heard Anthony Bourdain passed away, it's not nice and cool, Richard. Hi, it's hot here. Hey, Orange Tabby. I know suicide statistics are up, which is really sad. But I was sitting having lunch. Oh, I'm glad you got your necklaces. Thank you so much. Thank you. But I was sitting having lunch with Amy and Gary, who is actually the preacher and his wife. We are friends, and we went to lunch, and he sort of nonchalantly said, Anthony Bourdain is dead. He hung himself. Well, I happen to be an Anthony Bourdain fan. I, first of all, love cooking shows, and I really think he was the coolest guy there, and he kind of reminded me of my husband. And it just hit me. I mean, tears. Now, I'm already a little bit down because I don't have the ability to get out there and get away from the heat. But boy, that hit me really hard. And it's like, I am not the type to kill myself. So there's no problem in that respect, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't want to hurt my family and friends and leave my dogs. And it's a beautiful world. And I know I'm a little down right now, but that's just now. And I wanted to sort of say that to people so they wouldn't worry. Life is a big circle. So even when you're at the bottom of the circle, there's always the upside coming. And that's what I wanted to say. I don't understand somebody that has a child of 13. Why would it smell bad in my RV? No, of course not. But somebody who has a child of 13 and a wife, a nice wife that he loves, to take their life, and he was working and doing what he loved. So you never know what's inside somebody. And sometimes the people that appear the happiest inside are really the ones that are the saddest. At least I am talking about it, because talking about it really helps. It really does. I don't need to go to a shrink or have any medication. Okay. So anyway, I'm just it's puzzling to me why somebody with so much money and a great career and family and kids would ever want to take their life. And there's times when I really feel like, oh God, my parents are gone, my husband's gone. I wish I was with them, but I don't really want to be there. There's plenty of time I want to live as long as I can and as healthily as I can. And that's sort of what I'm trying to talk about today. And I also wanted to show you, it's not done yet, but this is the hat. I'm almost done. It's the hat I'm working on. And that helps me. I just have to be busy. So I sit here and, I'm coloring in these hats. And I'm going to have to get my paints out too, because that'll keep me busy. If my mind and my hands are busy, I'm okay. And I am planning a getaway. Thanks, Mike. I used to make these hats. I've done so many of them and sold them at arts and crafts shows. And they're always different. I've never been the type of person that can do the same one, over and over. I never like to do that. That's a sun visor I did. It's got little dots all over the back. Yeah. So anyway, a lot of people were saying that you should do this and you should do that. And why don't you see this? And why don't you go and do that? And don't stop and go get a van and stop. Well, first of all, I wanted to address the getting a van. I do want to get a van, and I do want to go camping. And I wouldn't mind, doing it a few weeks here and there. I don't think I'd want to live in my van permanently. Okay, let me answer questions. First of all, Mike asks, what thoughts do you escape by crafting? I think you escape all thoughts because you're working on something, and it, that takes your thoughts and you put it into that. So that's a good thing. And I'm really not escaping thoughts. I just, there's just times when I wish I had a big bank account so I could, fly to LA and drive a car up to Seattle and then visit all my friends along the way. But I can't do that. Thank you, Amanda. And have I eaten meat lately? I'm not a vegetarian, if that answers your question. I did have a quesadilla with fajita steak in it, and it was delicious. I'm just trying really hard not to eat a lot of processed foods. And I slip. And when I'm depressed too, that's not easy. Really. You know, maybe when I'm depressed, it's dangerous because I haven't been eating sugar. And you get cravings and you're fighting them. And then you can't go out and do much. I'm in a town where the nearest movie theater is over an hour drive from here. And the mall and all the things that you might want to do. Someone said, go bowling, join a senior group, go to play bingo. I can't do all that. I can't go at night and, go play bingo and drive home at 11 o'clock at night when it's so dark on the roads. Shanti says, good and bad and light and dark, happy and depression. These emotions come up. Right. Two sides of the same coin. Guess one cannot exist without the other. This will pass. No things stay on. Exactly. I was saying, like, life is a big circle. We have our down times. Hopefully they aren't lasting long. It's a long summer. I'm not real thrilled. And Mike asked me, why don't I, you said visit your friends and consider moving near them. That is exactly why I have to say this. I don't have the money. It takes money to pick up and go move to a new area and start over again. I can't afford that. I wish I could. That's what's depressing, is unfortunately everything is more expensive than ever before. Pamela, hi Pamela, she says, when you are dealing with depression, it's really hard to get up and going and be around people. Yeah, Mike, and that's the bottom line is money, and it's difficult to be around people when you're not feeling talkative and you don't want to share. Like yesterday was family day, and we were over at my family. Lee and Stephanie have a big ranch, 60 acres, and they rented this huge slide, a water slide, like adults could go on it, and everybody had a blast. And I went there, and I just it was hard, but I did wind up um, enjoying myself enough. I went home pretty early, and the kids had a blast, and I do love to watch the children have fun. I'm mom of 5, but it's it's kind of deep. I mean, all of our lives take turns, and when you plan your life out and you have a husband or a wife or a mate, and you're building something together, and there's a plan to do this or that, and then something happens, and one of you is no longer there. They pass away. They get sick. Everything in your life changes, and you have to adjust. So, hi, Kathy. I am adjusting, and I've been adjusting for a few years. And it's just that I put myself in a position where I don't have a lot of money left. I did have money when I I sold a mobile home. It wasn't a lot of money. But and I love being here in a lot of ways. I mean, Kat and Mark are such good people and so close to me, and even Mary and all of the kids know me. So it's unfortunately they don't live in a really cool, nice area. Mike says all of my friends have changed. They went through divorces, all of them, and now they're on drugs. So I get lonely too. I'm sorry, Mike. That's another thing, drugs in our society too, and alcohol. I don't drink. I mean, I wouldn't mind a margarita. There's not one bar in this town. And it's like I said, an hour and 10 minutes to the nearest everything. So, it's difficult. And I don't like I'm not in the mood to drink by myself, but it would be fun to go somewhere and share a cocktail and watch people. I love to watch people. Don't you enjoy that? One of the things I love to do when I go somewhere is just enjoy watching other people, especially like Disney World. And I miss being close enough to go to, Disney World for the day, because when I lived in the Tampa Bay area, we could just go in about an hour and 20 minutes, we'd be in Disney. Here, Wichita Falls and Abilene are nice, but that's not what I really need. I don't know. So this week I'm going to do some craft. I'll be the craft person with Kathy at the church camp for the kids. 100 children, ages pre-K to 6th grade. That should be fun. Hi, Joanne. Joanne says, I get a lot too, Deb. I'm told to go to the senior center. I don't have a car, and I have disability that doesn't allow spontaneity. So it's a bit lonely. I love some YouTube channels. I love watching YouTube channels too. And I'm really grateful that I'm not disabled, in the respect that I can go somewhere, but I've never lived so far away from everything. Mike's asking, do you have a romantic interest? Romance spices life up. Wichita Falls, Texas. We live near each other. I live in Lawton area. Oh, I don't know where that is, but if it's close, that's cool. No, I have no romantic interest. And that would spice things up, but boy, there is nobody that I would be interested in. I think I've seen the whole town. They're all nice people, but no. Yeah, Lisa says she's a people watcher too. Yeah, going to the mall and first thing you want to do is get an ice cream cone at the mall, which I'm trying to stay away from, but it's not easy. Hi, Susan. She said, I'm still young. I'll be out there next May, and you have given me inspiration to get out there. Well, good. I do want to inspire, and that's why I was like thinking I better, get on here and show you that I'm not so depressed that that I'm not speaking properly. I'm fine that way. I just feel a little lonely for like activities and a circle of people to hang out with, and I got to be honest. I mean, I wish I could get a joint and smoke it and feel a buzz, because I'm a 60s child, and here in Texas, there is none. And I'm not a drinker. So, I don't really know. I don't know. There's another thing. Okay, so Kathy says a great way to meet like-minded people is taking an adult class at a community college. Listen, a community college is not around me. It's not like where you live. It's not like there's a college here and there and you can go do stuff. Thanks, Mike. You know what I mean, though, Kathy? People say that in the comments. A lot of people, go do this, go do that. Simple to say, easy to say, but not easy to do. Drive an hour and so and do a class and then come back. And it's just something that I might have to force myself, more often to go by myself to Abilene, to the movies or to the mall, or, go to a good market. I am limited. That's right, Joanne. My area is limited. There's churches everywhere. The senior center, everybody's like older. They all are raised and born in the area, and I don't have a lot in common. That's nice, Kathy. She lives in Nebraska, so there's not a lot near her, and she takes classes online. I don't want to do craft shows. I think I did 1,000 craft shows in my life. Somebody said, why don't you and Kathy, like they volunteered Kathy in it, why don't you go and rent that community center and get a craft show going? And I'm like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to do any more craft shows. Thank you, Rose. And Anne, let's see, Deb, I watch you all the time. It is time to move on. I can't move on. I'm just not moving on. It's not about moving on. It's about just being able to get away. And I'm afraid to trade my truck in. I have a big fear of getting a van that isn't going to be running so good, and I won't know the history, and I'll be stuck somewhere. That scares me. Yes, Teresa, I am trying to find, and I thought this was my place. Maybe it isn't my place, but right now it's where I am, and I don't have a whole lot of, ways to get around and get out of here. Tony, hi Tony. Deb, there was a post in the Fabulous RV Woman group of someone female looking to travel partner as she has the RV but doesn't want to travel alone. I thought about you when I saw the post. Yeah, but I don't know this person. When you travel with somebody, especially in the same vehicle, you got to know who you're with. That could be wonderful, and it could be the worst thing in the world. Mike, if I don't trade my truck in, then I won't have the money to buy a van. I did see a van, a 2005 van. It had 200 and something thousand miles locally, and they wanted only, I think they said $1,200, but you know, I don't even have 1,200, but that's kind of freaky. What's wrong with this van, right? Hi, Bard. He says that we all have fear of the unknown, but we can't let it paralyze us. I got it. Yeah, well, you're right. And I'm trying to not let that, you know, fear of getting a van, but it's not like anybody wants to go with me to the big city and look at vans. Like Joanne says, she doesn't think she could do a roommate. Doing small travel trips might do, but you need a reliable van. Well, I'm thinking that I'm just going to wind up taking some trips just with my truck and me and doing, you know, like Airbnbs. I've noticed that Airbnbs are actually not expensive. You can get one fairly inexpensive. And then you have the whole house, or you have like a backyard and you have a little sitting area. They look nice. That's what I say, Mike. He says the $1,200 van must have problems. Avoid it. Yeah, it says it runs good, but it had like showed bumps in the back, like they'd had accidents. Yeah. So, and like I've thought about, you know, well, what about a car payment? I'd be afraid to have a car payment. I don't know. Yeah, but Bard, he says no offense, but a van is impractical for me because they don't have bathrooms and showers. And for the same price, you can get a small Class C. But I wouldn't have a truck. I'd have this big old Class C to run around in, and that's not too good either. Right, Amanda. It's what I'm saying. I don't think people hear about it. It's like it costs money to go traveling. So I am setting up a travel time. After the camp with the kids, I'm going to get, you know, save a little bit of money, and I'm going to take a drive to Amarillo, which is about 3 hours, a little over 3 hours away, spend a night there, and then drive 3.5 hours to Colorado and meet. I'm possibly going to meet a friend there and stay maybe 2 nights. And then I thought, well, on my way back, I'll stop in Santa Fe, which is another 3.5 hours, and then 6 hours back here. So I've got a plan started. I don't have a retirement pay. I know, Mike, that car salesman will tell you anything just to get a sale. My dad was a car salesman, and I know. I don't have a retirement pay. I just live on Social Security and whatever my Etsy shop brings me, and a little bit from YouTube now. I'm starting to get a little bit. Yeah, Joanne, I think the Airbnbs are nice because, you know, I'm looking for one that has like a private entrance. Hi, Bonnie. And where I can, you know, meet people in the Airbnb, you know, that's check out Airbnbs. It's pretty interesting. Yes, Teresa, it is hard to do a lot on my budget, but I do definitely want to go some places. And I do plan on taking these trips, and I think it'll help because Kat and I went to Lubbock for one night, and I felt so good after I did that. Yeah, keeping my truck is important to me too. I wish I could. Right, Bonnie, my truck's been taken care of. It drives really good. It has low miles for the year. It's 2007, and it just has like 100,000 miles on it. Orange Tabby, yeah, I liked Lubbock. I really enjoyed that place. I'd like to go back there again. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, I like the video. That always helps. I've really appreciated it because last month I asked you guys to, you know, help me out, and I did. I got a little bit. So on the 21st of this month, I'm going to get a little money from YouTube for a change, and that's going into my little travel fund. And my truck is reliable. That's right, Orange Tabby. It's you know, I mean, it gets oil changes regularly. It had new tires when I moved here, So they're still pretty good. I think I've got a good year or so without worrying about my tires. And I'm going to get my transmission fluid flushed because I think it needs that. But I mean, that's not too bad. But everything costs money, you know? Money is like the root of all evil. That's what I couldn't understand about the last two deaths. You know, we were talking, me and Bonnie were talking about Anthony Bourdain had, all the money he could use, a 13-year-old darling daughter, a wife that was beautiful and was devastated when he died, and good friends everywhere in the world. And, he still did it. It's like, wow, where do you have to be to give up everything? What do you mean, Bonnie, stay beside my friends in their RV? I'm trying to figure out what you mean. Mike, I wouldn't mind going on a date, but I haven't met anybody to go on a date with. Believe me. The only friend, and I have a friend named Larry, but he met a woman and he's in love. And he's still my friend. I go to Abilene and visit, but that was the only person I had really liked enough to even go out with. Joanne, that really does help, actually. She said she played videos on loop. Well, I appreciate it because that does help. It really does. It helped me last month. I didn't get any money of April. I mean, I got some money in April, but I didn't make the threshold, so I'm getting it this month. And in May, I did well. So that's going to be my little chunk of change. So after the 21st, I'll have a little bit of extra money. Oh, Bonnie, I need a fan on. I need, no, Mike, it doesn't make sense why somebody that has a fantastic career, loves their job, yeah, we all have. I really think drugs and alcohol had a lot to play in with Anthony Bourdain because he drank a lot and he probably did pills. So, no, I would date someone if I found somebody to date. But I mean, when you go to the senior center or you go to Bud's for dinner and you see men that are alone, I wouldn't look twice at them. They're just not my type. Hi, Evermore. Let's see. Rose, he wanted to do a Kenny West and visit Trump, and they killed him. Who are you talking about, Rose? Hi, Cooper. I need a young man like you, right? Well, we have a senior. They call it. You know what they call the senior center here? The aging center. Can you imagine? Who did, Bard? Rose. He threatened to poison the president. A few. No, let's not go there. That's crazy stuff. Yeah. And I've been to the aging center because like every day they serve a lunch, which I don't like the food they serve. And then we'd play cards, and I do like to play cards. I love playing games, but I don't have a lot in common. Cooper, don't be teasing me. No, Teresa, I don't want to pick a man from this. And these guys all have like overalls, and they look like they've been through the mill. Mm-mm. Well, Susan, the truth is I enjoyed playing cards. They play a certain game I learned, and that was nice. At the time, I really did give it a try. But I did not have anything in common with really anybody other than, talking about food, and that's about it. Right, Lisa, can you imagine they call it the aging center? Hi, Jojo, I'm glad you did. Yeah, that was bad. It's bad. And when we've talked about, I told everybody at the aging center, let's just call it the club. But, that didn't go over. I'm way too city girl for this place. Oh wow, apart. That's too bad. I don't eat Big Macs, and there McDonald's is like an hour drive from here, so let's let's uh let's not. Yeah, I think let me see here. Hi Mary. Bonnie, you said at the kids' ball games, but that's not my cup of tea either. I mean, I've gone once, and usually we wound up babysitting while the older Chase goes and plays baseball. So, Melissa, welcome. I'm glad you caught me live. I figured that I can do this for a little while, and then I got to get ready to go have to be the craft counselor at the church camp for 100 children. Me and Kat, I think two other ladies are going to be helping us. Well, Evermore, I used to do meetups when I was in Florida, and there's no meetups here. I'm an hour drive from Abilene, which is a small little town, city. Bonnie, you're just thinking it, but it's not true. When you're living in this area, believe me, I'm not going to meet somebody at the baseball park. Hi, Janice. What do I like to do? Well, I like art. I like to go out and have a nice meal. Um, Thank you, Susan. Hi, Chris. I love California. CM, I'm going to tell you guys this again because people don't seem to understand it. There are no like minded people right here in this town of 1,130 people. It's not like being in, Tampa Bay area or any big city. Sure, in the big city, there's lots of meetups. I know. Hi, Timothy. Hi, Timothy. How you doing? Yes, I'm in a little tiny town, and it's there's no fast foods, there's no movie theaters, there's no malls. We have a very small grocery store. If I want to go somewhere, it's 45 minutes to the nearest Walmart, which is still out in the country. God. I didn't go to the pool today. Hi, LMJ DeVille. It's just opening now. I'm not going. I have to do some. I'm going to be for the next 5 days, from 5:30 to 8 something. I'm going to be with the kids and doing crafts, very simple crafts. Right, Susan. You guys are like-minded. Yeah, it should be fun with the kids. I'm looking forward to it. Bard wants to rescue me, please. Well, Jojo, I would like to get a van, and as soon as I figure out how to do that, I will. Yes, Cooper, I did. I chose family love over, city friends. And some part of me is a little sorry that I stopped and stayed. Other part of me says, where would I have gone? At least here, no matter what happens to me or my RV, I have somebody that'll help me out. That's important. It does get lonely, and I need a helicopter, Timothy. I could land it right behind my house. The pool has a million children, really, and they're like always moving around. Um, we did enjoy it. I mean, you find a little bit of space because it's a pretty big pool, but way too many kids. Don't be kidding, Mike. He said he can cruise down in 3 hours. Is that how far you are from me? What part of where's the closest city to you, Mike? Bard, how come I shouldn't get a van? I would love a van, but I'd like one that's not real old because, again, I'm not a mechanic and I I don't know. Evermore says, could I downsize, trade my RV for a truck and a small Class B RV? I've thought about stuff like that, but it's easier said than done. No, you can't do laps in that pool, not with the kids. Oh, it can't. It's going fast. Let me see if I can back it up here. Mike's Southwest Oklahoma. Oh, Dallas. I'm going to be in Dallas in November. I'm going to go see a concert, and I'm going to make a trip out of it. That's what I'm going to do. Hi, Carrie. Good afternoon. Thanks, Mini Girl, for your opinion. I just don't want to talk politics. That's like a big no-no for me. That's all. Wow, there's always such jerks online that I have to get rid of. Must be pretty bored in life if you have to come into a chat room and say nasty things. Kentucky's a nice area. I've done arts and craft shows there. I might, Bonnie. She said I could come to her house after the concert in November. I'm thinking about that. Bart, if I do a van, I don't think that I'd be in it long enough to have to worry about a shower and a bath. I'd probably do a motel like every 3 or 4 days. And I don't think I could live in a van. I'm not a van dweller. But, I could do it for a couple days here and there. Timothy, I don't know about the senior center or any of that stuff. I wouldn't want to do that with them. You didn't see the nasty comment because I hid it from the channel. So, yes, Bonnie is a great lady. I look forward to meeting her. Hi, Ellen. Ellen says she lives in Southern California. She'd miss the pink, the blue, the green, and the purple hair if I lived in a small town. And we actually have a few people, the young people, that have that color hair. Bonnie, when it gets closer to November, I might do something like a meetup for some friends that live near the Dallas area. That would be fun. Hi, looking good. Thank you. I'm looking good. I get it. I get it. Bart, she's asking, what about going to the bathroom when you live in a van and motels get expensive? Well, you can go to the bathroom. You just have to find a place to go or use a jar or whatever. I'm not afraid of peeing. I wouldn't want to, I definitely would have to find a place with a bathroom. That's what Walmarts are good for, right? Yeah, Houston's not far. I mean, from you, Bonnie. And then from Houston, I could possibly go to New Orleans because I love New Orleans. Has anyone been there? Now that's a place to watch people and have some really good food. Yeah, it's not fun to go to the bathroom in a van. I get it. I know. I've been watching van dwellers videos a long time, and I see some people, they don't mind doing that. And I don't know. If I had to go bad enough, I would have a setup that I could definitely go if I had to. That's okay, Mini Girl. No problem. I don't mean to be rude or anything, really. And I'm sorry to hear that Anthony was, stupid enough to say a comment like that. Hi, I'm not Chuck. Well, maybe sometime in the near future, Mike, we can maybe meet up and enjoy a nice conversation and a meal somewhere. That would be fun. The dogs are great, Susan. Rosie's laying on the sofa there. Lily, where Lily is, Shable here. Oh, Joan, thank you. Wow, that's gonna go towards my fund. Keith, welcome. I just thought I'd do a little video just to kind of listen and everything. I'm not to the point of anything bad. I just kind of go through life's ups and downs and I share them with you because if I pretended to be happy all the time, wouldn't that be a phony? The concert, Bonnie, that I'm going to see Celtic Thunder November 30th. It's very sweet. Thank you, Joan. I don't, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Hi, Carrie. I would love to meet you and your wife. That would be so cool. You just have to let me know when you're coming so then I can help you with anything. Are you staying in hotels or RVing? Hi, Melissa. Yeah, I love Celtic Thunder. And what's neat is I bought the ticket. This is my Celtic Thunder ticket. And I got a free, what do you call it? I got a free CD and it came yesterday. So I've got their new album for free just for, I guess, just lucky. Thanks, Joanne. I feel like I just want to, be who I am. It's not always perfect. So, Joanna, she loves my channel. I'm down to earth. Well, that's all I can be. And I don't know if that cat is around or not. We do speak on the phone, and you know, she's a good person. Bard, I could pretend to say everything is just peachy keen, but I think you guys would see right through that. Everything's okay. Hey, I am alive. I'm not sick. That's when you're sick is when you're feeling bad. Um, let's see. Yeah, I say it like it is. Just bear with old fat cat. She'll be around. Yeah, just bear with her. Let's see. So I thought I'd do this today because I mean, people get depressed and it's pretty scary out there, and we go through changes. Some of us get real quiet when we're depressed, and some are, like me. I'm going to talk about it. I don't want to give any information on anybody else's life, Jojo. That is just not that's not a cool thing. One thing about being a really good friend is that when they tell you something, it stays with you. I'm not a gossiper or anything like that. Hi, Mom. Mama Five says, "Wow, maybe you and Kathy could do a movie or something." Um, Kathy's married, and her husband Mark loves to be with us. He doesn't like when we go by ourselves too often, and that's part of being a married lady. And plus, she's got like 5 grandkids. and she's always babysitting, and her mom needs her to do this and that. I mean, everything. Her mom's 89. So when Kat and I get a chance to go somewhere, and we do once in a while, we do. We enjoy the heck out of it. Evermore says, okay, I have a stupid question about RVs. When you are in a permanent place with your RV, how do you empty your black tank or gray tanks? I've been thinking about finding an RV on my daughter's. Okay, here's what happened. When I got here, yes, you got to have a place to empty your black tank. So it cost me about $1,500, which was cheap here. I had to put in an electric line. I had to also put in the sewer line, which was the most expensive. So my black tank, where it comes out, is attached to a PVC like thing. It goes right into the ground. So I do have to empty my black. I do keep it closed. And then when it's full, um, I pull it and it goes down into the sewer. And then the gray tank, I leave it open. It just goes into the sewer. Hey, RV Fat Cat. Well, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. So, yeah, we all, like I said, when we're going through changes, this is important. And you all know this. When you're going through a heavy time, something really is heavy in your head or your heart or your life, not everybody gets out there and says it all. Some people have to wait until they're ready to, start sharing about it. And that's the thing. We're all different. So let's just say that I do talk about what I'm feeling much more easy than some people do. You don't hear everything because, you know, some things are personal. But basically, I do seem to, share more than some. Jennifer, have a blessed day. High top van sounds great from your Seattle senior sister. Oh, I would love to see. Seattle's one of my favorite cities. Yes, and a lot of people were saying in the comments. I mean, I had 190 comments, and a lot of people said, "Wow, I feel the same way you do. I feel like I can't do what I want to do. You get older, you can't do what you used to do, and it's kind of a sad thing. You're looking at a beautiful place, but you don't feel the energy to get out there and walk the whole place." Yeah. Just remember, though, to give people a little slack if they don't necessarily have the ability to come out there and talk about everything, because we're all so different and we're all a lot alike, really. Thank you, Minnie Girl. I try to be open and help. I like to help others. Yes, and Nomadic RV, I wanted to let you know that I'm looking forward to seeing you and your wife again, and let's go out to dinner and do some stuff for sure. They moved. As a matter of fact, they moved to the next town over. So I do have a friend there, two friends. Yep, you can trust me. I will never say anything that people have, entrusted on me. That is just pretty low when people go and spread rumors, especially when they aren't even true rumors. But we all have, like I say, our time when we can feel comfortable sharing something very heavy that's going on in our life. Uh, I'm one of those people. I'm a communicator. I've always been that way. And, you know, I get sad because I don't have that other person in my life that I used to have. And there isn't really anybody that's going to replace that man of my life. And everybody around here has their husband and wife together, or they're very, very old. Yes, Stephen, of course you do. And when Fat Cat is ready, she'll do it. Believe me. Yes, Kathy. And we worry about each other. When I hear someone's going through a hard time, especially when you hear people that, hanging themselves, And you think, God, why would they hang themselves? They've got money, they've got kids, they got a wife or a husband. It beats the hell out of me why anybody would. Hi, Angel. Yup. Time is of the essence in our lives. We're so lucky to be on this earth, and when you open your eyes during the next morning and you say, hey, I'm still here, that's a good thing to be grateful for. And I have two little dogs that rely on me, and I don't see leaving anytime soon. Carrie says, Deb, I agree with the old saying, better to have loved and lost than never have loved at all. I can tell that you really did love. Yeah, out of all and I've had a lot of, different relationships with guys, but that was my best. He was just such a wonderful person, and he really cared about me. Oh, looking good. I'm not going to be making too many beaded jewelry right now because the garage where the workspace is so hot. It's really too hot. That's why I'm doing hats, and I might do some paintings too. But for now, I can't be in the garage not too long anyway. I just sold a necklace yesterday, a citrus colored necklace. So I'm going to go in the garage to get the necklace and get the shipping stuff together. But it's warm. It's not fun. If I have a cool day, I'll go in there. Yeah, well, maybe during the autumn time, looking good, I can get into something for you that you would like. Yep. I just thought I would give you guys like a little, something, something today just to make sure you're not worried about me. Hi, Keith. I'm holding up. I am holding up. How many people are in here? I don't even know where to look. Huh. I'm looking. 80 people. Oh, cool. Hey, Melissa. Thank you. Well, I am open, and like I said, I'm trying to remember all the questions I've been asked. But most people say, go out and buy a van, or go fly to your friends. I would love to fly. I would love to fly and rent a car from Seattle, visit my friend Chris, and then down to Mount Shasta, where my friend Bonnie Lou lives, and then I would go, San Francisco. I've got a friend Richard. I mean, I've got friends that I've known all my life, but I can't afford it. There was a time when I did that. There was a time when it was cheap. So it's not so cheap anymore. But I'm going to make sure I do some traveling. In the next month, I'm going to take a trip. I'm going to try to see Santa Fe, a little bit of Colorado, and Amarillo, because it's all kind of like, you know, within reach. And I'll go in my truck and stay in Airbnbs. So I'm gonna have to have a lot of money. Like I was thinking of doing this 5-day trip, and I think I'm gonna need at least like $500. That's an easy. That's easily, with gas and food and staying in a place. Yeah, that's all I can do. And I wish that the towns were closer. Yes, I'm interested. Nomadic RV to go on a road trip with you guys. That would be fun. Thank you, Joanne. Any of your new hats? What? Oops, wait a minute. Let me look. Trying to find what you just said to me. Is Keith a handsome devil? I agree, Bard. I can't even believe that somebody would take their life when they have children to raise. And and they've got money. You can understand if someone's lost all their money and they don't have kids, and maybe it's just like the end for them. But when you've got a 13-year-old, I would love to have a 13-year-old. I don't know. It was devastating to me, though. I liked Anthony Bourdain a lot. I loved his coolness and style and his honesty. He was pretty direct and honest. Hey, Steven. Yeah, this is kind of a therapy for me just to let it out. My channel has really helped me. I don't know what I would have done in the last 3 years, you know, just without a channel to just get things off my chest. So, yeah. It's hot here today, too. Very hot. Okay, Keith. I didn't know that. Angel says that he is the person that made the RV sign. Oh, I love it. It's out there. Yeah, I want to see Santa Fe. I heard it's an art community and really cool. And there's a lot of Airbnbs that really look nice, and really for about $40 to $60 a night. I could stay in a nice bedroom with a bathroom and have the run of the house with other people maybe, and that would be fun. Right, Chuck, that's true. I'm not Chuck. She says suicide people are seldom thinking logic. Well, of course they're not thinking logically. You must have been in a very dark, dark place, Anthony. Yes, Mike. And we don't know, but he was in the middle of like filming an episode of his show, and his best friend, which is that a French chef, found him. That's really hard. Jojo, my hats will be on Etsy. I have two more to make, and then I'm going to put them on Etsy. Maybe this week. I'll let you guys know. CM, you're just so close. Maybe when I get there, we can meet. Well, I saw some Airbnbs that aren't too bad, so um, I'm going to try staying at least one night so I can just check it out and be. At least I can say, hey, I went to Santa Fe. I do have PayPal. And that's another thing. I don't go out of my way to ask people. I would never say, please send me money. I can't say that. That's why I do my hats and my jewelry and my paintings. But I can tell you that I have PayPal. It's listed at the bottom of my information where it says show more. Usually I have my Etsy shop, my Instagram, my Facebook, and last but not least, my PayPal. Because certain people feel good when they give to each other. And I'm like totally flabbergasted when I get money from anybody. But I do work really hard on my channel. It's a good work. It's not something I'm dreading. But I tell you, we spend hours not only making videos, but the uploading takes hours. The editing to make things, mine are long enough, and I'm cutting stuff out so that it's not so long. It does take time. So I don't think that we're all out here trying to e-bag and all that. I think we're just trying to get by. And YouTube is a place that I'm so thrilled I can make a little bit of money on. I'm sorry to hear that. Evermore, my ex-husband's brother took his life several years ago. Oh, that's awful. God. Ugh. The Airbnbs are kind of neat because if you're with other people, some of them have like a whole house for rent, um, or a guest house with like 2 beds in it. There's places that have 5 beds. So I'm very open for something like an Airbnb, and I've heard nothing but good stuff from them. Hi, Deborah. She said, I'm glad that you're going to do what makes you happy. I see a therapist every week for depression, so I know what it is like to be in a dark place, and it's not pretty. When I've never really done the therapist thing. Um, as it is, I can't even go out to a movie without driving an hour. So I have to work it out. But you guys, kind of are my therapy in a way. I let things out. You share with me, and no, it's not on this because I haven't set the video up as a video yet. It's on other videos. That's the thing. So on any of my other videos, you'll see most of them have it on there. Gosh, Mike, I have to figure out what to sell to men, what to make for men. I've always done girly things, and occasionally I could do, like, it depends on the man, but I could do dark beads for a necklace or something. But it's hard to make for men. Yes, it's not pretty, and it's good to go talk to someone like you guys. See, this is kind of therapy for me, really is. And I think if I was really, really getting in a dark, dark place, I'm sure Kathy would notice and we would get me help. I will not just suffer alone. I'm just feeling lonely and kind of want to do stuff that's so damn hot. You get out there and all you want to do is go back and sit in the air conditioning. I agree, Evermore. I don't understand the people that are so rough on the YouTubers that have gotten gifts and money for doing what they love to do. It takes, like I said, it's not okay. I'm not going to call it my job. I'm calling it an outlet to make a little money, to enjoy myself, to be creative. But people are pretty rough on people. Hi, Linda. Welcome. I've had my channel for 3 years. I think 3 years was April. You know what I have done, Evermore? I have done, like, on a dark colored hat, I've made a fish, and I might have to do some of that again because they are cool, and I have sold hats to men. That's true. Minnie Girl asks if I ever feel my husband's presence when I'm feeling down. Okay. I've had dreams of him. I've had dreams that he's right there with me. I've also I don't know if I feel his presence, but I know that there's some angel on my shoulder because whenever something bad happens, like when my heater broke or when the air conditioner really needed to be cleaned, something happened and I got it done. So yes. And I'm not sure it's just my husband. My mom, my dad, and my sister are also on the other side. Yeah, isn't it something out there? I mean, Paul, I'm telling you, it's a long summer. Last year, it was not like this. I guess every now and then you get a really horrible hot summer. Mike, my husband died in May 2014. Hi, Libra. You know, and I mean, oh my goodness, thank you, Carrie. Thank you. See, it lets me know when somebody does give me something. Very kind of you. And all that is going to go towards me getting on my little trip. And I'm just grateful, to honestly grateful. Not anything I can say other than just so grateful that I am here. And I've got a lot of friends out there. You guys just help me out so much. Hi, Joan. Do I still hear OT? I don't know what that means. I really don't know what that means. Can you explain? Please explain. Well, Mike's asking me that if it's been 4 years and if my husband could tell you what to do, what he would want you to do. I don't think he would have wanted me to be in Texas, but I know he'd want me to be happy, and I know he wouldn't want me to be sad all the time. So I really do try not to have the sadness. You know what I mean? I I just you cope with it. You do. When he first passed away, I would keep pictures all around me of him, and it was so heavy for about a year. And I think he would want me to move on and find someone to be with. Yes, and I want to. I don't want to spend the rest of my life alone. If I have to, I have to. But gosh, I don't know if there's another person to spend time with, because it takes a lot of time to really, you know, really get to know somebody. Joan's asking if I see something or think something, do I think, oh, I have to tell Mark? Not as much now. I'm pretty much okay, but man, that first year was killer. And grief can strike you. Like sometimes when I'm feeling depressed and tears come, it's because I'm feeling that loneliness, that emptiness. Like I'm not dead yet, and I don't have anyone to share a whole lot with. And Kat can only go so far. She's the best girlfriend a friend could have, but she's got a life. I don't infringe on it. Jennifer, hi Deb. Just thought the county sells retired vans, well maintained, cheap. I bought a high top for fun trips. Maybe worth checking into. $1,500. I would love to find that. I don't know. I have to look into it more. I really do need to give it some more time. Yes, I wish I did. And sometimes I talk to him and say, you know, I miss you, but I know I'm supposed to be there's no mistakes. That's something I really truly believe. When we go through some really bad times and we learn a lot from them, and like it's not a mistake. We're supposed to learn from mistakes. And also when somebody dies, it's like it's inevitable that each and every one of us will lose somebody that they love. That's gonna happen. Yes, Teresa, I do have a lot of love to give. I'm still not ready to I know some older women that they don't want to meet anybody. They're happy alone now. Thank you, Bonnie. I'm putting it to my travel fund. I promise. It's gonna be it's gonna be good. And I'm gonna take you guys when I'm out there driving on the road. I'll be doing videos the whole time I'm gonna do. So you guys will see what I'm doing, and we'll always get together. And if I could do live, that's why Airbnbs are nice, because they have free Wi-Fi, and it's going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm not really happy driving alone all the time. That's why I thought from here to Colorado is like 7 hours. So if I stopped halfway in Amarillo, which I've never seen, then I'll enjoy Amarillo for a night and then kind of hang out for the day and get there. Yes, Bonnie, she's a doll. Thank you, Charles. What a nice day I'm having, and I had no idea. And Timothy asked if they allow pets. Some of them do, and most of them don't, but some of them say it's okay. I'm going to leave Lily and Rosie this time with Kathy and Mark, because they know how to treat them. Mike, if it would have been me that died, I would want Mark to carry on and be happy and find someone to be with, because why should people be alone if they want to be with somebody, right? I mean, like my cousin Maxine lost her husband, Aaron, I think a year before me, and she never wanted to go out again with a guy. She is like never, never. Thank you, Kathleen. It's hard to read it out loud. I got it. I'm glad you're here and that you have a chance to check out the live chat. I have a cat told me I need to be ready at 5, so it's 3 o'clock now. I'll do another 30 minutes, and then I guess I'll go. Well, Mike says that he knows several widows that won't date, and they're stuck. Yeah, I'm not. I don't feel stuck like that. Bonnie, Deb, Mike's throwing in the hat in the ring. Mike, send her your resume. She wants to screen you for me. She's just kidding, of course. That's interesting, Joanne. She says she has an online therapist that she touches base with once a month. That's good. Hi, Julie. She says she's hanging out today because she's out of the wind and chilling. That's what you do on these hot days, but it's like it started in what, the end of May, and it's only the beginning of June, and we've got July and August. Yes, Mike, are you a widow? Where are you located, Julie? I forget. Are you like in Arizona still? I don't remember. I have a terrible memory. Sometimes it's like, oh my God. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. I am so sorry. I wish that we lived closer because we could at least have some fun together. No one knows who's supposed to be together, but I always have room for friendships. That is one of the jewels of life, is people that are true friendships. And it takes time to nurture one, but I love my friends, and I have several. And some of them are really tight friends. And even Larry, who lost his wife, and I dated him for a little while, but we realized we weren't like for each other. We're still good friends. I mean, he's a decent person, and I'm so glad he found somebody. Yeah, Arizona. Hey, I remembered. That's how I feel. Time is ticking fast. That's what Kathleen said. It does. And as you get older, my God, before you know it, another year went by. Mary wants to know how old you are, Mike. That sounds wonderful, Julie. See, and she fixed up a van, and she's now out there doing her thing. But everybody says, "Oh, how can you go to the bathroom and shower?" Well, Julie, you want to explain? Mike, you're young. You're too young for me. But we can be friends. We can still have dinner. Right, Janice? Janice says, "I hope that you find happiness. Being widowed is totally different than just being single or divorced. People don't understand." Well, it's true. When someone's divorced, they don't have the same feelings as someone who's lost someone. Carrie's been married to his sweetie for 47 years. I'm a twin, and my wife is a twin, and have twin daughters. Isn't that wild? Twins. Oh, that's neat. That is so cool. Hi, Craig. Oh, thank you. Craig said he's been collecting shells because he wants me to make a shell, kind of like shell puka necklace, which I'm gonna do. I haven't talked to Patrick. Looking Good asked if I've talked to Patrick from the Paddy Wagon. I need to talk to him, but he's been traveling. I haven't talked to him in a while. But yes, we're still very good friends, and I miss him. He was a lot of fun to be with. We really enjoyed each other's company so much. I'm sorry, Mike. I know that's one of the worst losses you can have. My parents lost my sister at 27, and they never were the same again. Kathleen says age is just a number. No such thing as being too old or too young, as long as they're legal. Well, that's true. There are people that can can get together and no matter what the age spread. Jennifer, I'm going to explain this to you. I live in a little town of 1,130 people in the middle of ranches and farmland, flat as a pancake. It's an hour drive to Abilene, which is a little city, not big, and another hour and 20 minutes to Wichita Falls. It's not easy to start something like you know, a dating club or a meetup. People just don't do it. It's not good. I wish it was easier. Did everybody read that? Because Julie's talking about how she showers with her van. Craig. You know what I did last night? I drove home from Lee and Stephanie's family night, and I had my new album of Celtic Thunder on, and I just love their music. Yeah, yep. We have to persevere all of our, fears and all of the sadness that does come with life. Like I said, there is nobody that gets away scot-free. You will either, lose your husband, your wife, a kid, your mom, your grandparents, your aunts. I have lost a lot of people, and and one of my biggest fears as a kid was being alone. And, sometimes your fears come true. So that's the thing. I'm sorry, Carrie. That's terrible too. I mean, people lose people, and we have to live on because they'd all want us to be happy. Kathy, have a wonderful day. Thank you for coming in and visiting. I'm dancing while I'm sitting. I do a good dance while I'm sitting. Julie says, living life is making good friends on the road or nomadic life. Doesn't happen overnight, but over time you make beautiful friends. I can only imagine life. Can't imagine life any other way now. That's the truth, Hi, Troy. I just friends are I tell you what, if it wasn't for my friends, I really don't know what I'd do. That's why I stayed here. But I do need to do more. And even if it's just in my truck and go to Airbnbs, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to just save my bucks, you know. And that is what happens too. Like Anne says, stuck in a confined space. This is a RV. I have no counter space. I like to cook, but it's not that much fun to cook in here. It's it's something I'm dealing with, and I see people with so much beautiful homes and spreads and land and RVs and just and I'm jealous. I know it's a jealousy because I look and think, oh, I wish I had, whatever. But I've got to be grateful for what I have. Thank you, Teresa. You have a blessed day too. We have to keep on keeping on, Mike. It is true. And you're right, Mary. We all do. I have to. I could be like, I mean, I was depressed when I did that video, and I let y'all know. And it's not easy to get out of it, but I know Bonnie. She says, "Don't be jealous. Money doesn't make happiness." I know, but it sure would help. Evermore wants to know how old you are, Julie, because he's interested. I think living in a van has its good points and bad points. I could not do it full time because I need more space. I've got two pups. I really do like having a bathroom. Um, but I could do it for a few weeks here and there. I certainly could. It would be a real exciting adventure. And that's what I'm looking for, is a little bit of adventure, a little bit of fun. No, Timothy, he wants to know if I'd take this RV out and my travel trailer and take it. No, because it's got siding all around it to keep, like animals out of the bottom. It's like stuck. It's here. This is where it lives. Right, Mike? I'm sorry, Julie, about that, but at least you're doing something. You went out there and got the van and you fixed it up. I saw it, and I got to hand it to you. And I'm hoping that I can do something like that in the near future, and I will. Yeah, road trips what sounds like fun to me. So that's what I'm going to do for now. I think living in a van full time would be a very challenging thing because you have to be out of your van most of the day. You're going to have to be outside. Can't stay in a van all day. Really, Evermore. That's typical, right? She said she went out looking for a high top van, and the salesman asked her what she wanted it for, and she told him she was thinking about converting it to a live-in, and he laughed at her. I don't think it's funny. I think if you can do it, good. I like my home base, and I love being here with my friends. Right, RV Fat Cat. It can be depressing when you feel trapped due to lack of funds. Hi, No Madness. Okay. Let me know when you're going to be around. I'm so glad, Carla. She said she's got the bracelets and she loves them, and that makes me very happy. I think like living in a van could be very challenging, but it also could be very rewarding. And who is anyone to say what's good for them? That's the thing. Try not to be judgmental about it because we all have different needs. Some of us need lots of room and bedrooms and bathrooms. You know, I found that I like a tiny home. Even if I was going to build a house, it would not be a big house. I like small. Bye, Timothy. Julie says you listen to your gut. Your gut tells you you need more out of life, then you just grab the bull by the horns and go for it. But it's always nice to have a path of friends before you jump. Yep. Yes, I used to, there was things about Florida that I thought I didn't like, but I miss Florida because I had friends there and I miss them. I've got a couple friends that are in Paris together right now, and it's like, oh, the pictures are so beautiful. There's a lot of people out there in that Orlando area. Jim's out there in Deltona, which we've done arts and craft shows all over Florida, including Deltona. Well, Julie, then it suits you, and that's what matters. I'd like to see your home. I don't know where it is exactly. I know you told me a little bit. Do you have my phone number? Because I would love to talk to you. I'm not going to give it out just in general, but you can always send me an email at rvdebs@gmail.com. Right, Ellen. She says my impression is I need a home base. This is my home base. It may not be fancy, but it's definitely my home base for now. Kathy thinks I should get one of the senior apartments because they're not expensive. But I don't know. That would be I don't want to have a place with no backyard, no front yard. Carrie, that I don't think they would like that here. 720 feet is how big your house is. I'd like to see it. It looks cute. I mean, it sounds like it's enough for the two of you. Yes, Mary, I know. I'd like to go on a road trip myself, and I'm going to have to go for it because ain't nobody going to come here and take me. Right, Mike? Everyone's different. That's the thing. Who's to judge each other? Just be happy that your friend's happy. If a little fishing pond makes you happy, that's fantastic. If driving in the country, in a top-down convertible is what you like, you should do it. Oh, Doug, that's an idiot thing to say. You're showing how stupid you are. Okay. Well, Mike, you need to get out and do a little traveling. Maybe we could meet and just go do something. I don't know. That's okay looking good. I've only been to Michigan during the summer for arts and crafts shows, so I enjoyed it, but I don't know about living there. Bonnie has a $2,500 2,500 square foot, but same reason. Last year I moved to the smallest room in my house, an 8 by 10 room. I don't ever want to use the rest of the house now. That's a big house. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come down when I go see the Celtic Thunder in the end of November. I just might come down and spend a couple nights with you, and we'll go to the city or something and have some fun. Well, yeah, I'm not into be drinking and all that stuff, drugging. Although I wish that pot was legal because I think it's a real good way to handle anxiety for me, but I can't do that anymore. So unfortunately, okay, I will do that, Bonnie. We'll get to meet. Bonnie's been a sweet friend of my channel for a long time. Well, we're all blessed and cursed in a lot of ways, Mike. You're not alone. Never think you're the only one that's feeling those things because you're not. Coffee Queen, if you ever get that all arranged, let me know. I love to go on cruises. That's another thing that's absolutely wonderful for vacation because you don't have to do anything, just enjoy yourself, right? I'm sorry to hear that, Evermore, and things do work out. Sometimes when things are the worst, all of a sudden they turn around and things start looking really good. And there's reasons why we go through this. I don't think there's any mistakes. We just sometimes you got to hold on because it's hard. Jennifer, I wanted to hitch up my home and go all the way there, but I didn't want to my truck's not strong enough to pull this trailer up the mountains to get there. That's why I didn't do it. Joan, when you say, is it here, Deb? I didn't get whiz. Hi, Linda. It does get overwhelming. And those are the days that I guess my video starts to turn towards the depressing part. I try not to put it there. I really do. Sometimes it's overwhelming. The heat got me, the AC wouldn't work for a while. Um, I don't know. Things sometimes just get to you. Thank you. Thank you, Fast Pup Dog Training. Very kind of you. That's what I did today, Coffee Queen. She said I should do more of these live chats. I've been doing a live chat like once a week. Evermore said I hated my job for 20 years. That's a bummer. This is a new adventure. Oh, yeah, I couldn't. That's why I've been working for myself and don't have a big bank account, because I worked for myself. So, you just live for the week ahead, month to month. Yes, thank you. I've never been to Illinois. I've been close to Illinois when I went to Michigan, and I'm someday maybe I'll get to Chicago. I don't know. It's a big city. Mary, you live in Indiana. I went through Indiana to get to Michigan, but I didn't stop. Like, actually. And Kat and I used to go to these Renaissance fairs for 8 weeks at a time. We'd live in a pop-up camper, which was really a hassle to set up and tear down. Jude says, come here to Southern Ontario, Canada, 1 hour from Toronto, on a half hour from Niagara Falls. It won't cost you for a hotel or food. You can stay here and come and go as you please. Well, I might do that someday, Jude, because I've got family in Buffalo, New York, cousins, very first cousins, and I could stay with them there. And I would love to travel. I love Canada. If there was any other country, I wouldn't mind being a Canadian. Almost, living in Buffalo, you're almost Canadian. Yes, Evermore, it'll work out. Things work out. Just one of the things I think I have found in my million years old is that if you sit and do nothing, nothing happens. Sometimes you just have to get out there and, like you say, take a chance. That's what I did when I moved into my RV and I sold my mobile home and bought this travel trailer and, fixed the truck up, make sure the tires were new, and got the dogs all their rabies shots and all that stuff. Right, Julie. Medical marijuana is legal in Arizona, and most other places are learning it's more than just a high. No, it's like a relaxer. Doesn't make you crazy or anything. I always just feel mellow and talkative and happy. Thing is I don't think Texas. I think it'll be the last place is Texas. Yeah, a million years old. Might as well be a million years old. I did figure out what you were saying. Yeah, Carrie, I enjoyed living in Alabama. I lived there like, about 9-10 months. It was nice, especially near the area that we were at, near Mobile. Me and the dogs. It has been so nice talking to all of you. It was exactly what I needed today. I am so glad I decided to do this because I don't know. Sheesh. Really, Bonnie? I don't know maybe where you live, but this little town of Knox City, I don't think there's no way. I wish there was a way because that would probably put a smile on my face. That's right, Jennifer. She says if a person sits around, old age and illness sets in, keep on moving, keep staying young. That's the thing. I have a very young, mind. And I'm trying to do things and I still can walk and I can still, have some fun. Maybe I'm not like, I can't run, but Kathy just messaged me. Hold on a minute. I'll tell her I'm doing a live chat. Okay. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I am feeling okay. I mean, I just, like I said, I just shared my downtime with you guys because it happens. Right. Paul. It's not the same here. I wouldn't even want to ask or tell. I don't even talk about weed or anything like that. Thank you, Ellen. Let's see what Kathy's saying. I'll tell her 5 o'clock. I'll be there. Yeah. No, I can't do. There's not much I can do about that here. But I kind of like to go to Colorado, and I guess you guys all know. I mean, I would love to go where it's legal. Actually, go and see a store that sells it, because that would be beyond me. I mean, I don't know. I smoked pot when I was 15, and there's never been a legal time with pot, so I don't know. That would be just a gas. I can't believe that there's like places like that. Yeah, Mary, there's Amish areas up in Ohio. When we did the Renaissance Fair there was a lot of Amish people, and there was in New York. It's a really neat lifestyle too. Hi, Paul. Right, Bonnie. You don't talk about it. No, I don't talk about it at all. I talk more about it with my friends on YouTube than anywhere else. And Kathy knows. I mean, it's just something that I grew up doing. But once I got to Texas, it was like, bye. That's one of the things that I don't know. That sucks. Hi, Oren. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Yay. Well, it's been really great talking to all of you. I know, Terry. Um, Oregon, Nevada, California, Washington, Washington, D.C., which is interesting. I think Vermont and I think Massachusetts or Maine is all legal, which is really cool. King of Pizza wants to know my favorite pizza. Um, all right, Bonnie. Got your message. Might get me there earlier. Yes, Fat Cat. I am going to meet yourself and get a big old hug. We'll hang out together. Yes, I am, Ellen. I'm a California girl. My favorite pizza. My favorite pizza would be like lots of cheese, really healthy, mushrooms and onions and pepperoni. That's neat, Carrie. Yes, I love the Amish baked goods, and I've been to in Maryland, Ocean City, Maryland. We would do a 4-day big, huge craft fair. It was under big, huge tents right on the water, and they had booths that they'd sold baked goods from the Amish that would be there sitting and selling it, and it was fun. I do love food, of course. Duh, right? Thank you, Mom of Five. Mom of Five. That's a lot. Well, everybody has their drug of choice. Like some people like, having a beer, and somebody likes wine, and others are really into tequila, and some people like, Valium, and I mean, or some people don't. But I just think that it would be nice if it was legal because it's a nice thing. When I'm in Colorado meeting Miss Fat Cat, I hope that she allows me and her to do a video together because that would be fun. Yeah, Sunfest and Springfest we did. And it was really great. And like that was a super place. We'd go there and spend a week. We would rent, I can't remember the name of the place, but there was like a high rise seeing with a balcony of the ocean, and we'd spend a week there. Hey Jennifer, I'm sure that's going to be delicious. I really liked Ocean City. That was a really neat place. Yes, thank all your Peace. I'm this. I really needed to talk to you guys to let you know that I'm okay. Yes, I am somewhat depressed in certain areas if I let myself get there. I got to pick myself up. You know, we have to pick ourselves up and get out of it. It's not a place to hang out, but you know, it passes. Looking, someone asked me how come I had no children, and it's a good question. I never really had anybody to have children with. And a lot of people had kids out of, you know, out of wedlock. They just had kids. I didn't. I loved my dad, and I wanted to have a dad. And when I met my husband, he had already had 3 grown kids, and I was right at the end of having periods. So it just never happened. I wished it did because I loved kids, and kids love me. I'm like a kid magnet, and I'm gonna go find a bunch of kids to talk to today. So I got to get going pretty much. Pass the biscuits, yeah. Biscuits and butter and jam. I mean, come on, nothing better than that. But and lately, I'm trying real hard. I'm gonna start. I got the sprouts and seeds and stuff. I'm gonna start sprouting sprouts, and I'm eating Ezekiel toast, and I'm having certain things. I'm eating eggs because we have chickens, and they have great eggs. Exactly, Twisted Mickey. Thank you. She, Oren says, here in small town Texas, a pot party would probably involve cookware. Exactly. Thanks, Joanne. It helped me too. See, we help each other. That's what it's all about, is just trying to help each other keep ourselves up, you know. And sometimes you just gotta go down low, you know, when things are not so good, but then you know it's a circle. We're gonna go back up again. Thank you, Ellen. That's very kind of you. Thank you for so much. And for those of you who, you know, gave me gifts today, I really do appreciate it. You're all so kind. And I really love my friends on YouTube. Believe me, I enjoyed this too. Thank you, Tabby. Okay, well, we're gonna end it. Let's all say goodbye to each other. Paul, life has peaks. Yes, it does, and lows and highs, and I certainly have them. But you guys help me, and I hope I help you. My dogs help me. Cat helps me. Sometimes just getting in the car and going helps me. So, you know, there are days no matter what. But definitely Nomadic RV, you guys, please get in touch with me. I'm so glad I did, Joan. Karen, thank you. Chuck, I'm not Chuck. Oren, RV Fat Cat, we'll talk later. Libra, Carrie. There's so many wonderful people. Thank you, Penny Lee. I love you too. I will be seeing you soon, and then the video will come out in a couple days showing you what I've been up to. And I guess this is all it. Oh my God, I'm going to say goodbye. I could sit here all night and talk to you guys, but I got things to do, kids to play with, and do crafts with. That should be exciting. I'll let you all know how it goes. Have a good rest of your Sunday. And again, thank you very much.